Megane RS, Golf GTI, Civic Type R, all household names. And now there's this. It's the car that Hyundai hopes will give it a seat at the hot hatch table, maybe even at the head of it. Say hi to the brand new i30N.
This is Hyundai's first ever true performance car, and the opening road car shot from its new N division. Led by ex-BMW M exec Albert Biermann, N is to Hyundai what AMG is to Mercedes, and staffed by the Korean company's best and brightest. With a nod to the brand's WRC program and soon touring cars, N claims the i30N has been developed using the same logic race teams use to tune a car for a new circuit. There's equal emphasis on straight line speed, braking and cornering performance, and power down traction, often the bugbear of front drive hotties. This is not to say the whole focus has been on outright pace. Fun and bang for bucks are also key measures for the i30N's success.
The i30N was born in Namyang and honed on the Nürburgring. In fact, Hyundai has done 2 full 24-hour races with the i30N as part of the development process. Here on Vallelunga, it's a very wieldy, easy car to drive, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. But the clever thing that Hyundai has done is to make sure that while it's good on the track, it's still good on the road.
The i30N will be offered in 2 versions down under, and the range-topping i30N Performance is our pick. Not only does it pack more punch and great tunes thanks to an active exhaust, but it also features the i30N's ace in the hole, an electronically controlled mechanical front limited slip differential. This alone transforms the front drive hot hatch.
There's a swag of adjustability available on the i30N, from one-touch drive mode changes to the ability through the N menu to customise up to 7 parameters. Everything from the front EDIF all the way through to the exhaust. It's a pretty fruity one too.
In developing the i30N, the techs have cleverly drawn from Hyundai's parts bin before honing the components for their new role. Instead of their standard i30's 1.6 litre, there's a 2 litre under the bonnet. It's sourced from Sonata, but in i30N guise get stronger internals, a bigger turbo, and a racetrack-ready oiling system. The i30N's big brakes are borrowed from within the Hyundai SUV stable before being upgraded for hot hatch duties. This canny approach saves money, allowing the N division boffins to focus the extra dollars where they're needed, like the car's bespoke cooling system and stem-to-stern aero tweaks. The result is bigger and better than the sum total of the parts.
There's a real substance to the control and chassis feel of the i30N. It feels like a very grown up, very developed car, but it's still heaps of fun. This is a car that always feels like it's up to what you're going to dish out. It feels composed, even when perhaps you're not.
On the track, the i30 felt fast and effective.
Here on these high alpine roads, it just feels like a hell of a lot of fun. This is a car that really you'd expect to have come from a car maker who's built dozens of hot hatches, not just one. The engine itself has enough character, but it's really flexible and it's properly quick. But it isn't one of those engines that is hard to live with. It's a car that, in this case, I think will be quite easy to live with. And the i30N is not a one-trick pony either. It has decent ride quality. It's got a nice cabin, it's got great seats. The seats control you really well on a fast little road like this, but having spent all day in them, they're still comfortable. So a lot of those essentially mundane boxes, Hyundai's ticked as well as the go-fast ones. It really is a very good effort, particularly first up.
And although Hyundai Australia is still being tight-lipped on price, there's every chance the i30N will land here early next year at well under $40,000. The powered-up i30N performance? Well, we'd budget in the 45k range if you're keen.
Some will discount the i30N for falling short on horsepower. Others might criticise it for sticking with front-wheel drive. I reckon they're both missing the mark. You know, that's because the very best hot hatches have always been front-wheel drive with playful manners and the pace to humble more fancied machinery anywhere, anytime. And that's the i30N in a nutshell. If this is the start of Hyundai N Division's learning curve, I can't wait to see what it serves up next.